Oh, hello. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Chaos Space Marines that are coming in Kill Team Nachmund. So, it's good to be right. I said at Christmas that I heard it was going to be Chaos Space Marines. You can go and watch an embarrassing YouTube short of me with a Santa Claus hat on. So that's good. It's good. That's up on Warcom now. So definitely Chaos Space Marines. It's the standard Space Marine kit with an upgrade sprue. Before we get into the upgrade sprue, and I'll touch on this again at the end of the video, but let's just remind ourselves what we already know that we're going to get, because we're getting the Chaos Space Marine box from 40k. So we're going to be getting an Aspiring Champion, a Chaos Icon, a Plasma Gun, a Flamer, a Melter Gun, and a Heavy Bolter. Right? And that I haven't written on the slide, because I'm silly, there's also a Missile Launcher, of course. Okay? So, let's not forget those options as we look at the new cool things that they've added into the box. So, they've added in the Reaper Chain Cannon. Now, from what I can tell from reading the page that Warcom have put up, this looks like it's going to be an additional option for the Heavy Gunner. So it's likely going to come at the opportunity cost of a Heavy Bolter or a Missile Launcher. I will say this is quite an interesting one for 40k players, because the Reaper Chain Cannon was always an option in the rules for Chaos Marine squads, but the only way to get one was in the Havoc's box, or I think in the original, like, what was it called? Not Soul Wars, that's Age of Sigmar. The two-player box they did with the Chaos Space Marines and the Stealthy Marines, and then later they parceled it out to start collecting. That kind of sprue also had a Reaper Chain Cannon. It's interesting because I wonder if that start collecting is going away, and this is Games Workshop's way of kind of making the Reaper Chain Cannon vaguely accessible to people, although it is still in the Havoc's box, but having to buy an entire box of Havoc's just to get your Reaper Chain Cannon kind of sucks. Anyway, this isn't a 40k channel. It'll be interesting to see how this stacks up with the Heavy Bolter. It's one of those things, you'll only be taking one, there's no points costs in Kill Team, so people will just make mechanically whichever is going to be better, the Chain Cannon or the Heavy Bolter. I'm guessing it's probably going to be the Chain Cannon, which is no bad thing, because it is an awesome looking minigun type thing, which I think looks really cool, but yeah. So it looks like a new heavy weapon option for the Heavy Gunner. Then we got this guy who's a Rive Talon. They don't tell us very much here to go on. It just says the Rive Talon is bound to leave a mark with his flensing blades. And he's got his talon thing there with his blade fingers on. When I first saw the pictures, because of course when you load the article you look at the pictures first and then you try and read the text and work out what's going on. I thought it might become kind of buffing or even a healing character where he like puts his hand on people to fill them with demonic energy or something. But he's a combat guy. That's going to be a theme as we go through these models. There's a lot of combat characters. Moving on to the Butcher, who likes close combat. He is a Night Lord looking fellow. It says his fondness for flayed skin could be indicative of Nostraman origin. If you're not up on the lore, Nostramo is the homeworld of the Night Lords. And it makes me wonder if these plastics started life as a kind of a mixed Legion squad, like Chaos Deathwatch or something. And then at some point, some kind of manager came in and went, no, that's not a thing, guys. They've got to paint the same colour. So they did them all Black Legion. But yeah, another combat guy. Maybe he's going to have some special rule for terrifying people because he's got skin hanging off him and that kind of fearsome mask. But then again, maybe not, because Kill Team is thankfully not very big on morale, so who knows. But again, hard to speculate without the rules, but it looks like some kind of close combat fellow. And then we got the Balefire Acolyte. Now, this is obviously the best model in the box. I've put one of my favourite kind of 40k meme quotes on the slide here. Hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Primarch and Saviour, Lorgar Aurelian? Because he is very obviously a word bearer. And Games Workshop even called that out specifically on their site. So it's not even me reaching. And it's just another thing that makes me wonder if this wasn't originally a multi-legion box. So yeah, but he's really cool. The model's really cool. I reckon he's going to appear in most lists because Psychers in Kill Team seems to be quite strong. He might be offensive, he might be buffing. He's probably going to have choices within his own unit entry to make him choose between being offensive and being a sort of a buffing, a force multiplier guy. But he's an awesome model. And also, can I just say, I know it seems weird to talk about Games Workshop's paint jobs, but they've got a really awesome paint job here. Like, if you look here, you've got like this object source lighting going on where the light from his fire is actually reflected in his armor, and on the shoulder pad up here as well. That's really cool. They've been a bit hit or miss recently with some of their models, the way they've been painted up. People have been criticising them online, but I really, really like everything about this miniature. I like how he's painted. I like his pose. Yeah, that's a really nice model. I think part of what makes it lovely is that because he's just like an acolyte, he's not like a full-on sorcerer lord. He's a little bit understated, but actually I don't think he'd look out of place, especially if you play something like Horus Heresy, you know, and you wanted to have in your Word Bearers Legion. It's understated, and this just makes him look pretty cool. I know some people hate me for saying that, because I know that the internet has some people on the internet really hate sculpted fire, but I just love this model. Great model. Really, really good. This guy, they don't give a name. I'm going to call him the Berserker until proven otherwise. They do say this giant axe is perhaps an indication of a cornate mindset, which is, yeah. He's a third melee specialist, and the thing is, with previews like this where you're given 3 guys and you can't really say much more than, well, he's going to do something in melee. I'm sure of the 3 melee specialists, there's going to be one that's objectively better, and one that's objectively worse, and one that's kind of good in this situation, and all that sort of stuff. But it's hard to really say what that's going to be until you have read the rules, right? But a melee specialist, certainly. Right, let's try, now this is all speculation, but let's try and put it all together. I think this is what the list's going to look like. So you're going to have to take an aspiring champion. Your aspiring champion is going to take a plasma pistol. I'm sure he could take a bolt pistol or a bolter, but you're not going to. A plasma pistol and either a power weapon or a power fist, because those things are already in the box. I know we haven't looked at an aspiring champion model, and there is one on the website that maybe has a different head or something, but materially, it's going to be the same idea as in the standard box. And by the way, there are apparently loads and loads and loads of different ways to make your aspiring champion already in that box, loads of heads and things, so yeah, an aspiring champion. Then you're going to have a heavy gunner option with a heavy bolter and missile launcher or a Reaper chain cannon. A gunner still with the flamer, the melter gun or the plasma gun. It'd be really interesting to see if the boring old plasma gun is still going to appear in like nearly every list, because it's going to be better than half of these really cool specialized things just because plasma guns are really, really solid. The icon bearer, probably still going to be in there because the bits are in the box, right? It'll have to have some really good rules to edge out some of this other stuff. But here we are, be able to attack people with his mighty chainsaw. Again, I should proofread. I'll tell you what we can do. It's like being in one of my lessons at school. We can just grab the pen, and we can just fix that. There we go, chain sword. Good. And we got the Rive Talon, a combat specialist. The Butcher, a combat specialist. The awesome Balefire Acolyte, who's a Psyker, who I'm just sure he's going to turn up in every single team, because Psykers are really, really cool and flexible. You've got the Berserker guy, and I'm sure you'll be given the pointless option to take worthless standard Chaos Space Marines with bolters or bolt pistols and chainswords, but you won't. So I guess, and this is complete speculation, I could be totally wrong-footed, there are 10 models in this box. I guess because the Chaos Space Marines box doesn't split up nicely. I don't think it is. If you look at the sprues, I'm pretty sure, haven't checked this before I decided to press record, but I'm pretty sure you've got like all the legs on a sprue, so they couldn't split it up into a box of 5, which is why for a little while I thought that they were going to use the new Chosen kit as the basis for the kill team. But you're going to get 10 models. I'm guessing you're going to get the champion and then pick 5 guys, right? And it'd be the usual thing where it's no more than one of each, most likely. So, like, you've got good scope there to go shooting or punching, right? If you want to go all in on melee, you got your aspiring champion, he's a melee guy already. You take your Rive Talon, you take your Butcher, you take your Berserker, and then you can go for a Balefire Acolyte and an Icon Bearer or a Flamethrower or something, and that might be one way to go. But you could also do a really good shooting team, couldn't you? You got your aspiring champion again, take a Plasma Gun, right, take a Reaper Chain Cannon, take your Balefire Acolyte, right? Because I'm convinced he's going to have some buffing abilities. And then maybe again take an icon bearer, okay? And then take whatever you like best out of the various combat ones, and you've still got a pretty shooty team. Or you can go for a decent mix. I'm sure when we see the rules, it will be obvious to say, oh, well, you always want to take this, or you always want to take that. But I think we're in a really good place, because you'll be able to build, if you've got 10 Marines, right, in your box, you'll be able to build your Berserker, your Balefire Acolyte, your Butcher, your Rive Talon. You'll be able to build an Icon Bearer. You'll be able to build an Aspiring Champion, right? And then you've got 4 slots left. And then you can decide what you want to do. You can build an Aspiring Champion with a power weapon to go with your one with a power fist, if you think you might want to swap between the two. You could build a melter gun, right? Would be a good thing to trade in occasionally, maybe. You could build a heavy bolter. You could build, I don't know, a flamer if you're feeling fancy. You could build an icon bearer with either the different bolter or the bolt pistol. So you can't quite build every single thing from one box, but unless you're a total completionist, it's going to be pretty straightforward to get everything you could want from this one set, right? To have your full everything you could want to swap in and out. Assuming I'm right, and it's a champion, and it's a 6-man team. And of course, if you've been playing Chaos Space Marines already with the Compendium team, well, you've already got models of most of this stuff. So at that point, you're just building the Rive Talon, the Butcher, the Balefire Acolyte, the Berserker, and the Heavy Gunner with a Reaper Chain Cannon, adding those onto your roster that you've already got for your Chaos Space Marine Warband. And then you can use the other 5 Marines in the box to make a 5-man squad for 40k, I suppose, right? Because you've got enough parts to make multiple Aspiring Champions anyway. So, yeah, I think it'd be a really good pick. I think it would be a really good a really good team for people who are kind of new to the game and want that kind of more elite team. It'd be a really solid elite team. It's funny to me that both our elite team options that we have are Chaos Space Marine based. It would be nice to see some Imperial Space Marines in a Warhammer game. As funny as that sentence is to say. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed by this. I think it's going to look really, really good. So, final thoughts. I was supposed to put up a video yesterday and I didn't. I don't normally do a video on Mondays, and this came out and I felt like I really had to. Right. So, brief aside, trying to make a YouTube channel is a struggle. I don't particularly need this channel to get massive or do really, really well. I have a well-paying job. I'm a school teacher. I'm not one of these people that's going to try and make this my thing that I derive my main income from. I can't see myself wanting to set up a Patreon. I mean, never say never, but I can't see any of these things in my future, right? What it would be nice, though, is just to grow the channel so more people are seeing what I do, and to maybe get noticed by Games Workshop to get stuff early to make better videos and stuff like that. That would be nice. And so, to a degree, you have to think about the algorithm, and I have heard somewhere, can't remember where, that if you consistently upload on the same days, the algorithm goes, that's great, and promotes your videos more. Other people say, oh, you just need to upload as close to every day as you can, and I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows, because it's a big black box into which everybody's just trying to make it do the thing that they want to do, which is to recommend their videos to people. At the end of the day, I'm just going to aim to try and do lots of videos, right? I think trying to stick to a schedule of uploading on 3 particular days of the week is tough because I don't control the news cycle, right? So I'm going to try and do at least 3 videos every week, but they might be on different days, okay? I think some things are going to stay most of the time. There's going to be a Friday video because Friday was good, because when Zimbad comes around to play, although moving house, yada yada yada, that's another story. I'm not going to spend, it's becoming a bit of a meme. I spend the last half of the video on this last slide rambling softly into the microphone, but could do that. And I like to try and put one up on Sunday in case that the pre-order announcement is anything really good, but then this week the pre-order announcement was Eldar, and I'm not going to make a video going, oh look, Eldar, because frankly, if you want to look at Eldar, you've already looked at them. Right, there's also even more news to talk about just from this Warcom announcement. If you go over to Warcom right now, there's a whole thing about the terrain as well in this same article. I want to do a separate video about the terrain because I have not wholly negative, but it's going to be a more balanced video about the terrain, and I wanted to do an unabashedly positive video because I really, really like these Chaos Space Marines. However, this is going to be the whole box. It's going to be a Mrs. Tabletop Impulse project because she's more into Eldar than me. She's more into Chaos Space Marines than me, and she doesn't have any 40k terrain to paint for the hobby bingo cards that we talked about and said we were going to fill in. So we will be getting this box on release day, but it's going to be something that Mrs. Tabletop Impulse puts together and paints. Although I might steal it and take some photographs and talk about the sort of unboxing type stuff before she gets to build any of it. I don't know. Great, well I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do, if you haven't already and you enjoyed the video, subscribe because that really helps out, you know, grow the channel and stuff, and like and comment and all those kinds of things. There's some other links, various shops where I get a little bit back, there's Discord links, things in the description that you should probably read if you enjoy the channel. Thanks everybody, I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheerio.